Cannot find a good camera angle today. I'm trying this one. Way up in the air. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Monkey Shine Lab. We have been doing a lot of toy hunts lately. Some have been somewhat successful, others not. If you watched my quick show this morning, you know how rough it's been. But I did want to show a few things that I have picked up lately and things that have arrived here to the house that you will see stories or mention of in the near future on shows. This is a score to me. The Megafig of the Mega Bloks figure of Cortana. Andre said no and all this other garbage, but yeah, I am finally gonna have Cortana in my car. That's where she's going. When I unbox her, which will be soon enough. Then another thing that I had come in recently that I'm really excited about and looking forward to getting this off of my thumb so that I can maybe manipulate the parts and do some painting. But my Los Angeles Class 688 attack sub is in. So I got this for just like $12, I think, on Amazon. And I'm super excited to put it together because this is the sub that I play, that I'm commanding in the game 688 attack sub on the Sega Genesis. I know, I'm ridiculous, aren't I? So there's that, and then we've got stack of weirdness, comic books that I've been picking up lately. Some of this stuff you're gonna recognize, other stuff you're gonna go, just for those of you out there who are new, maybe, we do all kinds of nerdish here. So we talk about Hot Wheels, we talk about other types of diecast, other companies. We talk about plastic models. We talk about Gundam. We talk about comic books. We talk about whatever comes off the top of our head. Sometimes it's embarrassing. That's the times you really got to tune in for. Anyway, Strong Guy Reborn. This is a Marvel comic. I don't know what to think. It looks crazy, and I like it when artists get crazy and put out books on regular labels that don't usually do crazy, you know. DC and Marvel have had a history of sort of the alternative comic scene, if you will, since the 70s and 80s. They both put out sort of challengers to Mad and Cracked. DC had a comic called Plop, which I really liked. And I still have a few issues of that. And Marvel had Arg, which was their, shots at being funny and Mad Magazine-like. And honestly, if I'm to call it by a name, it was DC and Marvel's attempt at getting in on head shops and stoner humor, if you will. Then I picked up a couple of Great Lakes Avengers issues. I bet you didn't even know there was a Great Lakes Avengers. They are in Detroit, and they're not very good at their jobs, apparently. So we're going to take a look at these. I have never read an issue of Great Lakes Avengers before. Should be interesting, as that is sort of the region I am from originally, the Great Lakes. Chicago specifically, and then via Green Bay after that. My whole family moved up there. I was the last one to move out of Chicago. I was the holdout. And then I am just seriously intrigued by this cover. It's the Avengers, and this is a line of comics called Empire. I believe it was a story that crossed several different artists and several different conflagrations of heroes. I'm really looking forward to checking this out. It's got the Black Knight, which is going to be played by Kit Harington in the MCU pretty soon. My man thing up here is, of course, the real draw. When I saw the cover, I was just like, oh yeah. Damn, a lot of glare. As you all know, I am in 80s and 90s mode comic books. 90s comics was not a real popular time, so you can get a lot of stuff sort of cheap if you're interested in just doing some reading. If you've never seen me talk about comic books before, this is not a medium to buy into in terms of making an investment. And you will never hear from me on this channel that buying toys or Lego or comic books or any of that is a proper or intelligent use of your money in terms of making an investment, a turnaround. If you're looking to flip things quickly, you'll need to get to those comic books when somebody dies and leaves them in a storage bin. Most of the time, people on the internet know what they're talking about now, even if they've never collected them. They've got information at their fingertips. So going out there and finding that issue of Action Comics that somebody had stashed with Superman in it, or the Amazing Tales with Spider-Man or whatever, you're not gonna find those. Don't think that you are. If you do, party like a rock star. But I mean, honestly, when you get into collectibles and collecting of any kind, do it because your heart tells you to do it. Don't do it because you see it as some form of investment or some way of getting rich quick. It's not the way to look at this hobby. That said, I talked Michaela at Radar Toys out of this issue before she had even slapped a price tag on it. This is a 50th anniversary Fantastic Four. It is triple size. It's huge. It's a novel, and this thing is in great shape. Every once in a while, I feel like I came across something pretty good, and that issue of Fantastic Four, I felt like that was a good score. Next thing I have to show you is some Thor, probably from the early 80s, based on price. This is number 310 and number 311 of the Mighty Thor. Found these in a bin recently, and ended up paying a little less than the sticker price, which was nice. An issue of King Conan where he finally faces off versus Thoth Amon, which if you know your If you know your Conan lore, that's one of his big baddies, Dr. Evil. And then here we have a couple of really cool foil covers from, back, probably, these are from the 2000s, I would believe. A 2099 AD Genesis, which is, I believe, Fantastic Four based, but really, really pretty foil cover. And I had gotten to this, it was funny, Jonah said, wow, I just put that out. But a foil cover Avengers from Time Slide, which is another really beautiful copy. Then about some silly stuff. I have no idea what this is. Number 1 in a 4-issue limited series, Star Wars: The Quest Begins. Kind of looks like a Gundam or a Transformers knockoff of sorts. I don't know anything about it. I just thought it was so weird I had to pick it up. And then a really nice number 158 of the Fantastic Four. This is not a really good copy of it, but it is a copy that I now own. Comics down in these numbers are sometimes hard to get a hold of. These are the books that I was collecting when I was a kid. So those are real deal. 25-cent cover price, number 158. And then the last thing I managed to find was another Incredible Hulk from around the time where I was picking these up. Number 203, which again, I'm kind of, when I go shopping for comics, I'm looking largely at cover price right now. And cover price is going to give me a general time period. And then, from there, I will look at the price of the book and determine whether or not the copy is in shape to, pull, what was it, $2 out of my pocket, This is a book from the 70s, man. And it has survived really well. There's some staples showing, there's some, it's typical of a book this vintage. But so there you have it, a bunch of comic books that I picked up. And again, wherever and whenever possible, I am wheeling and dealing, making store credit in issues that I find out for resale somewhere else, and then I will bring them and trade them in for store credit. That's the way my money is being best turned over in the comic book shop right now. So when I look to buy an older lot of books, basically what I will go do is see what kind of prices I'm looking at in the local comic book shops for a variety of those books, and determine whether or not on a bulk buy of, say, 30-40 books for $20-25, can I then turn that around into at least a third again or a half again sort of profit in store credit. That's kind of how I roll. Another thing that we are going to be reviewing very quickly, I've been working on this even though my thumb will not work with me. Andre sent me this classic arcade machine. This is a handheld that I saw reviewed on another channel, and I apologize, I can't remember who it was that I watched and saw this. So if you are a turnaround subscriber out there, the creator who I got this idea from, thank you very much. But this is not an original idea. I saw this reviewed on, or picked up really on YouTube on another Toy Hunters show. These were for sale at Five Below, which is a sort of like a Ross resale, dress for less kind of place where, you know, you can go and get discount goods. These handhelds have a removable rechargeable battery in it. The battery comes outside the unit and you just open a battery compartment, put it in and charge it up via USB cable. And so I thought, you know, first of all, it's not burning battery cell after battery cell, which a lot of these, you know, odd handhelds that are sold through gray market and Chinese companies are these days. I really liked the idea that you could pull the battery on it. And so I asked Andre if he was out at a Five Below, if he would go in and see if he could find one of these things for me. The reason is because it's got real, actual ROMs on it. A lot of times when you pick these things up, they have a bunch of made-up homebrew games, if you will. This one has actual translations, ROMs, off of, they're from Nintendo. They're like from NES. So there is a rock-solid version of Galaga on it, rock-solid version of Galaxian, Dig Dug, Ms. Pac-Man, regular Pac-Man, original Pac-Man, and the screen. I agree with Andre. The screen is really kind of the downer on it overall, but there are some really fun little games on this thing, and it was $10. So the only thing I'm looking to do with that now, I need to plug it into an outside television source and see how the unit to TV translates. So after I'm done with that, I'm gonna film a review of that. Now, the last hurrah is that I'm going to pull some of these cars out of their bubbles today and put them in with my other keepers. But the Rimac Navara, this is a Croatian all-electric hypercar, which one of our viewers, I believe it was 164 Custom, educated me on the what that car is. Thank you very much. And this is a gorgeous casting. This is an absolutely gorgeous casting, and I will give you a much closer look at it here in a second. You know, the Bone Shaker that's come out recently, I'm gonna pull that out, and also this Porsche 218 Spider, which I'm gonna look at it. Maybe I'll give it to the kids. I don't know. You know, that yellow is like, that's banana yellow, or as we also like to call it, baby poop yellow. And it's an interesting casting. They got the TAMs all over it, nicely done, and they've got a little sort of wash going on in the doors, the door jams and stuff like that. So it kind of stands out. I don't know, we'll get it out of the package, take a look at it. Tell me what you think. Also, this gray with the blue wheels, this is a hot look for the Batmobile. I have so many Batmobiles, people. It is my turtle van. It's my weakness. It's my Achilles heel. But I've got one of these finally, and I'm gonna pull that out and add it to my collection. And then also, and this is what I'm really looking forward to getting out of the bubble too. This is a Brave and the Bold Batmobile. These were, the last edition was in gray, I believe. This has the traditional sort of black and red 1966 color scheme on it, but on this Brave and the Bold chassis, which is really cool. And then sort of like the Brave and the Bold car, we have the Batman Forever, which I'm going to liberate from its bubble as well. I guess this is a very Batman-centric episode in terms of the diecast. But let's take those out of their bubble real quick. I will line them up here and I'll give you a closer look without all of my blabbing and bad hand. By the way, hit the like button. And if you're thinking about it, please do subscribe. If you don't like what you're seeing on this episode, there will be others that you may enjoy, which are more like, toy hunts and discussions of models and other stuff like that. So please take a look through our catalog and consider becoming a subscriber. It doesn't cost you anything. It costs you absolutely nothing, but it does a lot of really cool things for us as creators. So anybody that you like, that you subscribe to, it really helps them out. Please consider being a subscriber here at Monkey Shine Lab. We don't always use this irritating camera angle.